Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
We're not on an island anymore.
I have to see this.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Hello. This is Adolph Vega with
James Tate.
And today we're reviewing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom with full spoilers.
Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Yes.
And now, James, you actually watched it in 3D, so I'll let you go ahead and talk about that.
All right. So as we always start with the 3D. So I would like to say that the 3D was good overall. It was not as good as first Jurassic World. However, it felt positive. Some of the dinosaurs, the ending, especially a lot of those scenes have moments where the 3D does. It looks better. So I give it a good.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I think the stampede scene was the best part of the movie with the 3D.
Yeah.
You saw dinosaurs running from the back toward the screen, and then you saw a couple dinosaurs fly out, and it looks really nice. There's definitely... I wish there was more pop-out 3D.
Yes, I do too. But
now, one problem, I could see some theaters have a problem with how dark overall the movie was. It wasn't for me, but I could see that being a problem. Was it a problem for you or no?
yeah, it was pretty dark here I went to, but I think a lot of the thing is that's interesting about the movie though is that it's very unlike a lot of Jurassic Park movies because of the setting, and so because of that, there's a lot of scenes where in the last film you saw a lot of the outside just forests and things. You don't really get to see that here, and so while that is kind of a hindrance to the 3D, I don't really think it's something that makes the 3D worse.
Yeah, most of the movies actually shot like after you get past the island, you get most of it inside like this one mansion area, and that's it. So yeah, I do like it. I think if you go, you'll be like, this is worth it. But at the same time, I kind of think it's like it could have been better. It could have been sharper. It could have been, brighter, and it could have been a little bit more pop out. Because I always like it seeing the dinosaurs pop out, and that makes it more scary and more fun. So.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This podcast is brought to you by 3D Wiggle. With 3D Wiggle software, you can impress your family and friends with 3D gifts and videos. To find out more information, please click on the link in the description for 20% off coupon as well. This podcast is also brought to you by Patreon. With Patreon, you can become a patron and get this podcast commercial free and get many more benefits. Please click on the description again to get more information. Now, back to the show. All right, let's go on to the movie itself. So I'll do the recap. So, okay, you start off 3 years after the events of the previous movie, Jurassic World, which is how much real time has changed, unlike Incredibles.
Yeah.
And Claire is with the dinosaur rights organization, and she's calling up congressmen and senators to try to save Nubla Yura, whatever the hell that island's called, because the volcano is going to blow up the dinosaurs and kill everyone. And she found a guy named Lockwood who has like a rich, I don't know, he's like a rich foundation or something, and he had connections to the original guy that did Jurassic Park.
George Hammond.
Yeah, and John Hammond, yeah. And, he says he wants to help save the dinosaurs, so he's going to help pay for it. And they need Owen because Owen, knows Blue, which is the last Velociraptor.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was weird.
It's like you would think the raptors would be pretty good predators. Maybe
You could argue, if you really want to get specific, like that was the only raptor who was specially trained.
Yeah, they did kind of emphasize that.
Maybe that's what they meant. Like, there are probably other raptors.
So, Owen is like building a house, which I don't know what the deal is with that when Claire finds him, and then they talk it over, and apparently there is like a relationship that is off screen in between the time of this movie and the previous movie, and you aren't sure if Owen's going to be there, and that's not really a real factor because he's there. And they introduced 2 new characters, this dorky guy, I forgot his name, and this other woman. And the dorky guy, who's going to do all the tech stuff, and the other woman, she is like a doctor, so she knows how to help the dinosaurs out if they need anything. So they all travel to the island, and eventually do find Blue, and then they figure out that it was all a scheme, and Lockhart is going to sell the dinosaurs to auction as weapons.
Yeah.
And the volcano starts to blow up, and they basically, tranquilize Owen, and everyone else gets to leave, or they capture everyone else, basically. And the volcano is erupting, and then you have Owen, like, barely survive the volcano lava.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty funny. I actually like that.
Yeah.
It was just so stupid. It was funny.
Yeah.
And, eventually they get caught up together, and then they're trying to get into the ball sphere thing, and then the stampede is happening because all the dinosaurs are, know the volcano and are trying to get out, and they manage to get in the ball thing, and it falls in the water, and then Owen saves them, and then they eventually get to, like, another beach where, like, the rest of the, I guess the special forces or whatever military is there capturing dinosaurs because, like, the technological nerd guy, he was there to help track them, and he opened up, like, how to figure it out for them. And then there's, like, a scene with Claire and that nerd guy, and then, like, one of the, I don't know what kind of dinosaur that was. They try to go after him, but the lava's in between them. Now, what'd you think of that scene?
You mean where it's like they're all being loaded in?
No, before that, where they're
all running?
Yeah, well, okay. When they're being attacked in the bunker area, Claire and that nerdy guy.
That was kind of weird, what was kind of, like, interesting about that is the fact that it was like, okay, I felt it was kind of unbelievable that they were able to get away from that dinosaur. I thought, like, you'd eat at least one of them.
Yeah.
I felt like if this was another movie, one of them wouldn't have left.
Yeah, and I kind of think, you saw that the lava actually hit the dinosaur once in the head. I would think, first of all, he would die there.
Yeah.
Lava, you can't play around with lava. And 2, if he did it, he would not mess around with that anymore. He would learn and go back into the, tube and just...
Yeah, I also felt it was kind of interesting because it was like, okay, so I believe the dinosaur that came into the thing was an Allosaurus, or either that or a Spinosaurus, which, for one thing, I'm pretty sure that's the same dinosaur that was in the third one.
Yeah.
And it looks nothing like it did in the third one, and it's a lot smaller. So I don't exactly know what happened there. Because if you watch the third one, they have a big like spines on the back, and they're much bigger than the one that went to the bunker. So I'm not sure, like, did they just make it smaller, or is this a completely different species? Because it looks exactly like.
Yeah.
Besides, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. So the one that was in the third one, they fought a T-Rex, and that was like 30 feet high, and this one was probably like 15, 17 feet high.
Yeah. It's not consistent.
So, the very end of that area scene, all of them are escaping the island. They get into a truck, and they all survive. Which I was thinking that one of them would die.
Yeah.
But and then, man, that last scene on the deck, that scene, James, my God, they were putting on thick right there, where they have a brachiosaur that was trying to get off the pier, and then the ship went off, and basically you watch it die.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, and they focus on it.
Yeah, they could have split it off like 7 seconds earlier. Okay, I get the idea. No, they want you to hear the damn thing to cry.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, that's laying on thick. And, before the movie started, I was like, well, screw the dinosaurs. They already kill people, whatever. And then I was like, okay, now I'm feeling bad. Now, okay. That dinosaur didn't do anything bad. It didn't deserve to die that way. That's a terrible way to die. And, okay, I'm sympathetic now. I feel for these things. And, people on Twitter are like, oh my God, this movie's making me cry. It's like, yeah. That scene, James, honestly, is probably going to be burned into my memory forever.
Also, because that's the type of dinosaur they always play the in the first Jurassic Park, and they do another in almost every single movie there's always like a wow, like that's a thing.
Yeah.
How they just die.
Yeah, the last one is crying and dying in lava. I was like, oh my God.
I'm pretty sure they don't say this either.
Yeah. There might have been one later, but yeah.
Big. If later in the movie when it shows them, nope, that one's not there.
So yeah, it got screwed. It got re-extinct or whatever. Alright. So we get into there, and they're in a boat, and they're going back to California, I guess. I think they've always said that I don't know where the location.
I'm kind of wondering how exactly they got the T-Rex in the cage.
Yeah. So they during this they did shoot Blue, and so Blue's hemorrhaging, and the doctor character. She's like, oh, we need blood for Blue. We need to get it from another dinosaur that's like Blue. Is there another carnivorous dinosaur here? And they find T-Rex.
So he's hemorrhaging, and you mean you're talking about the blood transfusion?
Yeah, I thought that seemed stupid as hell.
Yeah, and I also it just shows to me personally the way stuff happened in the first one, or even the first trilogy. It's just shit like that where it would be really hard to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because I feel that it's different in this trilogy and the last trilogy, which, by the way, there will be a third one, so it's essentially a new trilogy. So, it's just one of those things where, again, someone sneaking around a T-Rex while it's sleeping and getting its blood somehow without it waking up is something that I don't really have a problem with the scene besides that, and I can kind of understand carnivores usually have a similar blood, so the closest thing to that might be kind of pseudoscience, but I can actually kind of understand it essentially because you have to remember that they're not real dinosaurs. They are all clones.
Yeah.
And so a T-Rex, maybe, in this world, T-Rexes and raptors are essentially have a lot of genetic similarities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see that. It's just, the way it was shot, the like Owen was able to jump through the T-Rex's mouth, put like a cartwheel or whatever in the air, and like come out okay.
It was so ridiculous. It was awesome, though.
Yeah. It was something called Rule of Cool. It's stupid, but it's cool, so it doesn't matter.
And then, like, you know, for a moment there, Claire's riding the T-Rex. I was like, yes, you should be excited there.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so I buy what they're studying with the blood transfusion, but we both know that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm sorry.
I'm also like, really... I don't know the purpose behind them having to sneak up, like, on it. At least from at least from the angle of, like, not telling anyone that they had to do it, because they had to save, you know, this raptor's life, and so the person doing the surgery could have just simply asked for them to tranquilize, because they want the, you know, raptor to live as well, and so they have no reason. Basically what I'm saying is that there's no reason why they had to sneak in. Like, there's no reason why they couldn't have just shot it with tranquilizer. Like, have some of the guards on the ship do it, and then it's fine. Like, that's not a coolest scene, yes, but...
Yeah.
Like that, because, again, what I was saying is, like, the people on the ship want the raptor to live just as much as the people do, even though they have different motives.
Yeah, I was just thinking in my head during that whole transfusion thing. I was like, no, it doesn't work that way. It's like saying, oh, a human is, you know, bleeding. Just give it that orangutan blood. It'll be fine. No, it won't be fine. It's a totally different thing. Yeah, it's similar. Orangutan is similar to humans, you know, but we're not the same. So it did bug me, but I was like, whatever, stupid, you know. Yeah. So, okay.
To me, though, it's just the way I would explain it is wave it off, you know. Because it was a lot of the dinosaurs were made from a similar blood sample from Dino. You know, that's the way I would do it, you know.
Yeah.
They aren't real dinosaurs.
You're the frog dinosaurs, and that's why they don't have feathers.
Yeah.
All right, so we go back and we see Lockwood, and then we see the old man, and, you know, he doesn't know that Lockwood's evil, and then the little girl, and it's way too many damn characters here.
Yeah.
The little girl is like, oh, you know, I want to, you know, be with, Daddy, and, you know, and it's like, oh, once we get him over here, we can start the auction, and it'll be worth it. And then there's, like, another guy that's part of the auctioneer, and he's like, oh, you're wasting my time, and and it just kind of goes on. And it's like, I don't care. And, you know, eventually you find out that the Lockwood guy kills off the rich guy, and, you know, because he's going to get in the way of money, and it's just crap. It's just crap. And then eventually you find out the little girl is a clone of the other woman. It's like, who cares? Why do you need that story? You don't. It's just wasting time, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think of that whole back and forth thing?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, the whole, like, they don't know, but she knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was kind of... I feel like the old guy, you know, like, I felt they made him a little bit too dumb.
Yeah.
You know, in the sense that he didn't know, or he didn't... Like, I thought what they were implying by him telling her to go to bed was that he knew, and that he was at least involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the impression I got from, like, the scene where she comes in to warn him that they're having this plan to, like, sell dinosaurs. And he's like, just, like, go back to bed. And then you kind of, at least to me, again, I got the impression that he was aware that they were doing it, and for whatever reason was either okay with it or was, you know, involved. Like, it's kind of hard to imagine that he was oblivious.
Oh, we almost forgot about the absolutely worthless cameo of Jeff Goldblum as.
Oh yeah. He appears in like 2 scenes and then is involved in the entire film.
And like the vast majority of both of those scenes are in the trailer, so you get like nothing there. And this is
it's like not even a role. Like you thought he was gonna do anything.
It's like literally like 3 lines.
Yeah.
So you go back on there and you get the dinosaurs into this mansion in California, and they get Blue to survive. They put Claire in like they put Claire and Owen in like jail, and like we'll deal with y'all later. And then they talk to Dr. Wu, and it's like, oh, well, we need Blue because Blue can give us the blood, and we can make a brand new dinosaur, Super Raptor, and then they make it instantly.
Yeah, you want to know what's interesting about that is that like it's literally it feels like seconds after they're talking about the Raptor, it exists.
Yep, just like that.
Yeah, like oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fully adult and everything too.
So
yeah, that was just like okay, whatever, sure.
I will say though, I am kind of glad that the sequel decided to go smaller and not bigger because I was kind of afraid that they'd bring back the Indosaurus Rex, but make it even bigger, like Gigantosaurus Rex, like something insane, like gigantic. Because that's what they usually do with sequel monsters. They are like, oh, we'll bring it back even bigger. But no, they decided to just make it small, which I think is kind of cooler.
Yeah, I actually kind of appreciate the narrative overall being simpler. It's a very simple movie, and they don't try too hard.
They don't. They know what they are. They know that they're a dinosaur film, so they don't really need to make it complicated. Another thing's that, like, I felt like when we get to it, like how they were auctioning off that, like that would have happened. Like, people would have been selling dinosaurs just, because they could.
Yeah, and
the price of them would also be insanely high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. And
Dr. Wu has the blood of other dinosaurs, and
yeah, I like them. Minor spoiler is that like. Basically, all the dinosaurs' genetic samples are saved, and like it shows.
So yeah, Dr. Wu always finds a way to survive.
Yeah, I think he does, and he's been. I didn't know this until recently, but he was in the first film too.
Yeah, he was.
The very first movie, and so he's kind of the most consistent character throughout
the whole franchise. So yeah, and then of course. Owen finds a way to get out of the jail that they're in with a dinosaur that just so happens to be the right kind of dinosaur to get them out, with it being like a dinosaur that could like ram into the wall and stuff. And I was like, oh, ain't that convenient. So after that point, they escape, and then all the other dinosaurs escape, and then
they cause like havoc.
And the little girl meets up with Owen, and they're like, oh, I know how to get out of here, and like she takes the most dangerous way to get out of the house.
Yeah,
like. It's raining outside. Oh, let's go on the roof. It's like, no, that's the stupidest thing you could do.
Yeah.
Like, let's crawl around and do this. And then, all the people get eaten by the dinosaurs. And eventually they get to, like, a room where all the dinosaurs are inside, but they're going to gas. It's like something happened where all the gases are leaking out, and they're going to kill all the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And they have to decide... Yeah, are they going to let him out, or they're not going to let him out? They're going to let him die, because if they let him out, what happens? And, it's will they, won't they, will they, won't they? And then the little girl decides, yeah, let him out.
So, they're out.
Which I was kind of not sure. I was like, you actually have a good debate either way because you don't know what's going to happen if you let them out. But at the same time,
Yes.
it's kind of cruel. You feel bad for them, especially like the little Triceratops. You know, it's like, oh, a little baby, and it didn't deserve to die. And you know, you feel bad for the dinosaurs, which they do a good job making you empathetic for them. You know.
Yeah. Also, like, kind of forgot to mention there was another fight, a raptor fight this time.
Yes.
Versus the Blue versus the main antagonist dinosaur, the Indoraptor, which I do actually really like the design.
Yeah.
Of it. It's like it's like a raptor but bigger and has way longer arms.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. They do kind of this thing where for a long time Indoraptors like looking for people and like looking around, and they show how like intelligent it is.
Yeah.
In the sense that like the way it gets out is by tricking someone that they were asleep.
Yeah, that scene. I was like, "This is so stupid." Oh well.
It is, but like I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Ending.
Yeah, and it was like winking to the camera almost, and like, "Oh, we're gonna get you, or we're gonna rip this guy apart." And you know, it escaped, and then they're all run around the mansion, and it's a lot of times where they show off cool looking scenes for the sake of looking cool, not, and just like makes no sense.
They also like I honestly thought like because at the end, you know, you have this fight Blue and the Indoraptor. I think is gonna end like, but because like okay, they're fighting on the roof, and what happens is Blue basically jumps on the Indoraptor because the way that the raptors fight for some reason is they don't like ever bite the legs. They always jump on their back.
Yeah.
Which comes back in this movie. That's the way Blue fights. So it's always raptors jump on the back of dinosaurs. So does that again, but this time through the window. And I thought like it was gonna be like a heroic like sacrifice where like both of them die. But no, Blue's okay. Like the Indoraptor falls on a Triceratops skeleton, gets impaled, and Blue's just sitting on him like fine.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool scene. It was like
It was cool. It was cool. It's just I felt like a lot of movies would end with like they both. You know?
yeah, and like there's the whole scene with the little girl going back to bed, which is like, why would you do that? And it's just like, oh, to have a cool shot of the dinosaur, you know, peeking into the bed. It's like, oh, come on. It's just so silly, you know. And that's the thing. I mentioned this in my review. It's so stupid, but it's self-aware how stupid it is. I think,
Stupid.
yeah, I think they're totally in the game knowing how stupid this is. They're doing this on purpose to play it up, to have those scenes, have those, you know, all that up. It's being played up. They know it's a bad movie, but they're playing it up to be fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, you see, you know, the dinosaurs leave and Blue, you know, it's like, oh, you know, gives them a nod and like, okay, we're free. We can go wherever we want. And of course, the problem is, you know, the dinosaurs are free, which is, okay, cool. You're finally going to move the plot forward, the entire Jurassic plot. But the dinosaurs can't survive. That's a big problem. They can't just eat anything, you know. They can't eat any plants. They can't eat, you know, they're going to get sick, and there's not that many of them.
Yeah, well, I kind of thought what I wanted there to be ended of is like, it shows, okay, when it shows like Blue in the like the desert, because it kind of has these shots where it shows like all the dinosaurs kind of getting to an area that you assume will be their new home. I kind of thought it would have been a cool nod. It wouldn't have made a lot of sense, but I felt like it would have been a cool like a cool twist for it to show that she laid eggs or something like that.
Okay.
Because, okay, the reason why I say that is because it's like, she's all alone.
Yeah.
You know? Like a lot of these dinosaurs, it's not like it's 2x2.
No. It's a randomosaurus.
It's not like the Ark. They're all alone, a lot of these dinosaurs. Another thing that I kind of have an issue with is if you paid attention to the last two films, the third one and Jurassic World, this is like the third time they used the whole pterodactyls going into the real world thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, because like the third film did that, and Jurassic World did that, and so far it's like every single time they act like that doesn't happen. Like
there's no payoff from it.
What?
There's no payoff. There's no payoff at all.
No, but I mean, like, I'm just like, I do notice that. Like at the end of the third film, they're like, "Don't take up nests somewhere else."
Oh yeah.
Never hear about that.
Yep.
Which was always something I kind of had a problem with. It was like, why don't the air dinosaurs leave? Like,
Yeah.
It shows them leave a lot of the time, but it never like this film acts like this is the first time they actually get it.
Yeah. Because, you know, they made it understand in Jurassic 3 that, okay, the flying dinosaurs are in a big dome, they couldn't escape, but now they can. And
but in Jurassic World, that dome was destroyed.
And then, at the beginning of the movie, we forgot about this, where that fish dinosaur escaped and went to nowhere.
Another huge, that's basically, another thing I have to say about this is that for some reason this movie acts like the Tyrannosaurus Rex doesn't exist most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it very, very sparingly appears. And it's not like that we need Tyrannosaurus Rex to be like the main focus of every movie, because I felt like, you know, it had a lot of screen time in the first, second, and even Jurassic World. But I felt it was really weird how it's like, you know, in the scene where all the dinosaurs are let out, you see all these dinosaurs run out, and then like the T-Rex is last, and it just appears basically. Like you don't see it leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like the thing,
main bad guy who just standing outside for something.
Yeah, and like the total amount of dinosaurs that probably escaped are like maybe 20.
Yeah, so
it would be annoying to people in California, but it would not rule the world. Like they're kind of giving the impression of, you know, that all.
Yeah. I'd also say one thing that was irking me throughout the rest of the film is, you know how the premise is like, okay, well, this island is being destroyed by a volcano. Well, they're completely forgetting about the island that's like right next to it that also has a bunch of dinosaurs on it. No, but remember in Jurassic 2 and 3,
Yep.
there was an island B that had a bunch of dinosaurs on it. Like, are they okay?
Yeah, we don't know.
It just seems like something that's kind of another thing that was kind of like making me wonder why this hasn't happened is like I kind of doubt the idea that it's been 3 years and no pirates or poachers have came to the island and tried to steal dinosaurs.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because in some ways this felt like a remake of The Lost World.
It did in some ways, because like the Lost World, which you know has its own problems, but I still like the Lost World actually. I even like all parts of the third one. I kind of feel like I guess this is what we put into my closing thoughts about like the film is that I'm not really a fan of the fact that they act like the second and third one didn't really happen.
Yeah, it's the continuity between the movies is a messed up. It's totally screwed up.
Yeah, because it's like, you have things like the Island B. Like, what happened to them? There was a Nabla 2. They said that And then people will say it's like, well, they moved all the dinosaurs to the first island. It's like, okay, well, how are they able to do that? Like, is it still like? I doubt that island is not still filled with some dinosaurs. You know?
Yeah. Did you stick around for the post-credit scene or no?
Yes. Yeah. And like I was saying, it's really banking on the idea that pterodactyls never left the island. The third one said that they did. In fact, that was like the last line. Like they were off on a helicopter and they looked over. And there's pterodactyls right by them, and they're like, "We'll take up the nest somewhere else." So
yeah, they get to Las Vegas and just hang out there. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was I kind of felt like that was an end credit scene just to have one.
Yeah. So, okay, I liked the movie more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, I think that it deserves like a negative review, but you gotta understand what the movie is.
You know, it's really stupid, but it's there to be entertaining, and it's just like it's one of the stupidest movies I've seen, but it's like so much fun that I could forgive all the idiocy with this. You know, for me, James, I gave it a 7, and I was like, damn it, I like this movie more than I thought I should. What'd you give it?
I'm gonna give this.
So just in case anyone didn't hear that, he gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Like, I liked it. It's not a very smart movie, but the thing is it's like he doesn't really have any problems beyond being stupid, and I mean, I already expected it. But I have to say though, the only thing that hurts me is the whole continuity thing. Like them acting like the second and third movies from the other trilogy didn't happen, and them acting like things like the second island isn't a thing.
I mean, the first movie does happen, obviously, but like, I guess no one knew about the second and third parts of the movie because
the second island.
Because the third movie is just going after that rich guy and going after the rich kid or whatever, and that was it. And I guess no one knew about that. And, it,
yeah.
And then the second one is poacher game again. So what happened to the dinosaurs that were poached then?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of plot holes, a lot of things that are not really resolved. But it's fun. It's stupid. Summer entertainment. And I was able to enjoy it for what it was, It's, just ridiculous, dumb movie, but it's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Are you looking forward to the next Jurassic movie?
You know what? As long as they don't mess it up.
You know what's fun? That did fish dinosaur. They kind of teased that it went to a beach, and it's like, wait, is this the prequel to the Meg? Because like the Meg has like a scene almost identical to the scene in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. There's like a big wave and there's a big dinosaur back there, and it's like,
yeah,
it's kind of one of those things that's like, maybe.
Yeah, it showed that the Megalodon was, or not the Megalodon, that giant dinosaur was around.
Yeah. I mean, okay, what do you do for the third one? Okay, they're attacking the city, but that doesn't last that long. What happens?
I think that they actually, by having survived and having all his genetic samples, I can see like the third one taking place, maybe not on an island, but maybe like a base or something where they're trying to recreate the dinosaurs. Another thing that's kind of interesting is that they've already said that there's going to be no more genetic, like the Indoraptor is going to be the last one. Like there's no more hybrids.
Okay. No more human hybrids, James. No more human hybrids.
Yeah, let's have human hybrids.
Hey, we have clones in this universe now, so, which is totally pointless. Who cares?
That didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Alright, before this podcast ends, I want to give a thank you to my patrons. Right now, we have one patron, which is David from Spain, and I want to thank you for your financial support to help making this possible. If you want your name to be called out and your location, please become a patron on Patreon. Our link should be in the description, or just look for us, 3D or 2D, on Patreon, and you get plenty of benefits. So again, thank you, David from Spain, and I hope to have many more Patreon patrons with us soon. Thanks again, David. All right, so that's going to be it for this podcast.
We now have a Patreon, and the link is in the description. Thanks for watching.
And we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, a little bit everywhere. Just look for us, 3D or 2D. And of course, review us on iTunes. And if you want to write us a letter, our email address is email3dortwo d@gmail.com. So that's going to be it. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. Hey, bye.
Bye, everyone.